Hello again, Amri's here. If you don't know, I'm a philosophy student at an online university called New Lane University. So basically, today's topic is about how something could be probable but at the same time not possible, which might seem at first a little strange because if it's not possible to happen, how is it probable? Um, so basically, this difference came to me when I was in a discussion with a friend of mine. We were talking about if miracles happened to someone at some point in some way, would that miracle that happened could prove the existence of God? So basically, what I was arguing for was that let me organize my thoughts. So basically, my argument was if something happened as a miracle, okay, and it it cannot prove that it was made by God, or that miracle could not prove the existence of God, because basically there will always be the possibility of that miracle to happen out of coincidence, out of something, like you know, uh, by something other than God, or by nature, or something like that. Like I'm not sure if I am articulating my thoughts correctly. Let me just pause a little. So basically, we said that if you saw that a hive of bees that constructed their, for example, hive that in a way that it spells some name of God or some prophet of God. Uh, so would that um, with that work of bees, the hive, would that hive be a proof, a miracle to prove God? My argument was no, not necessarily, because to prove something means that you know that it's true, uh, not a probability. To prove you know that this is true. But and another part of my argument was that whatever the hive was that whatever the miracle was, there is always a chance or a probability that it would happen out of coincidence. You understand? Like maybe the bees in the hive constructed the hive in such a way, in a random way, to have the name of God or the name of a prophet of God by coincidence. Like they did not determine it, and no one determined it. No one told the bees to do it. It's just a mere coincidence that the bees of the hive were working in a random fashion, and just out of coincidence they put out that name in their construction of the hive or something like that. And but then my discussion with my friend uh, reached reached a point that just because something is probable doesn't mean it's possible. These are two different ideas. They are not equivalent. And not any of them necessarily follows from the other. So basically, let's imagine a thought experiment. Okay, I have a deck of cards and I draw a card of this deck of cards, and you can't see it. But I ask you, what is the probability of this card to be um, number 4, for example, to be the card of number 4? What is the probability of that? You can calculate the probability of such a deck of cards, and a card being pulled out of it um, as a 4. You can do the calculations and bring about a percentage or something like that. Like it's like one, whatever the number is, it's possible to calculate. But whatever your calculation is, even though it's not 0, sorry, I got interrupted by a phone call. So basically, I was saying that the probability of having number 4, a card of number 4 from a deck of cards, is existent, and you can calculate the percentage or the possibility of such an event, that the card that I'm holding right now that you can't see and that I pulled out of the deck of cards is actually a 4. Okay, so even though it's possible to be a 4, in theory, in principle, if this card is not a 4, there is no possibility of it being a 4. I mean, like, if I ask you the question, what is the probability of this card being a 4, and you say it's something, and then I show you the card and it is a card of 2, for example, then it's not really possible for this card to be a 4 because it is a 2. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think I am having a hard time explaining it. But what I'm saying is, probability is related mainly to some kind of ignorance on our part. Like, I am calculating the probability of having a card of 4 because I don't know what I will choose, what card I will choose from the deck of cards, how are they arranged, and which card the person would actually pick. I don't know these things. They are not determinate from my point of view. So basically, it is possible in principle, with my ignorance about the situation, for the card to be have a probability of what a specific number for it to be withdrawn. However, if the world is deterministic, I know about quantum theory, and that it is and that probability is built into the theory, but we will talk about that in some time right now. So basically, if everything is determinate, so when I draw a card, even though it is probable that it be a certain number, it is at the same time not possible to be that number if it is in fact not. Like, I drew a card already, you can say that it's probable for it to be 4, but it's actually not possible for it to be a 4 if it's not a 4. So basically, what is probable from our point of view, um, from our um, from our available knowledge, and at the same time admitted ignorance, something can be probable and at the same time be not possible. So this view, I think, holds only if the world is determinate. But I'm aware of the idea that quantum mechanics has a probability built into it, like the, it's a fundamental part of reality to have probabilistic thinking. But I'm not really like I don't um, take these ideas. I don't like the idea of probabilistic existence, like the existence is built on probability. And I'm not an expert in quantum field theory or any quantum theory. I'm not an expert, so I can't really criticize the view that everything is probability, because I don't have the knowledge to do that. But I just think that even if probability is built into everything, I have heard an idea of uh, before I shoot this video, I watched a series of experts talking about philosophy of probability or something like close to that, and it is a playlist done by Closer to Truth, which is something like a philosophy documentary. You can search for it on the internet, Closer to Truth. And one of the ideas that were very strange to me, that really piqued my interest, was that there is a law called the law of large numbers that basically says, or at least I have understood it to say, from the expert who is explaining it, is that if you do probabilistic experiments on a small number of occurrences of the object of study, like if you have a coin and you flip it 2 times, you can have tails, or um, heads, or heads and tails, or tails and heads. So basically, if you have done it one time, you can get heads. However, if you do that action in the large number, like 1,000 times, 10,000 times, you will see that you are approximately getting half of percent of the times, 50% of the times as heads, and 50% is of tails. So basically what he's saying is that a probabilistic system would act as a deterministic system when that probabilistic system is applied in a large number of times. So that's what I understood, at least. I could be wrong, I don't know. So basically his idea was that probabilistic systems on a large scale, or on a large number, would produce a deterministic system. So basically, even my idea is, even if reality was fundamental probabilistic on the small scale, it would result in a deterministic system on a large scale. I'm not sure if I understood the law correctly or not, but I just wanted to share my thought with you. So basically, to understand my argument was, before I reached that moment of realization that what is possible is not the same as what is probable, my idea was, um, if a miracle happened, there would always be the possibility of this miracle being to happen as a chance, as as a result of randomness, because this will always be a possibility. Then miracles cannot actually prove the existence of God, or we cannot prove that they happen from God. But after that realization that just because you can put a number of probability on something, then it would mean that it is possible, does not necessarily mean that. So basically, uh, this problem would change, because uh, you simply don't know. You simply cannot know if randomness can produce such a thing, if or if chance could produce such a thing. You can say it's probable, but you don't know that for sure. You don't really know that it is possible for it to happen, if it is probable, because probability is built upon our ignorance of the whole system and its components. So to say that it is possible, no, it might not be possible. If we really know um, the laws and the conditions of everything, we might see that it's not possible to be produced as a chance at all. So there must be there a big difference that we have to acknowledge between being probable and being possible. What do you think of that? Please let me know.